Greetings and welcome back to Monster Legends. Alright, it's Saturday and we have a lot of things to talk about. Oh, and by the way, if you like my Monster Legends content, you might want to consider subscribing so you don't miss any of it. So let's first talk about the Moochie breeding event. Now this began yesterday and it has 13 hours and 54 minutes left at the time of recording. And in order to do this, you need to have Moonhaze and Dr. Watts. Or, of course, you can have one of the jokers up here. It seems that Zorky is actually good for something. How amazing is that? Anyway, if you get a successful breeding, you will get Moochy. If you fail, you'll get one of 3 legendaries. You can get Pure Seed, you can get Bellabal, or you can get someone else. Yeah, that's the category Little Red Furry Cap goes into when you're talking about the other two. Now, I've completed this breeding myself 3 times. The first time I got Moochy. The other 2 times I got Pure Seed. I have one more sitting in a hatchery. I shouldn't say in a hatchery. It's in the breeding place right now. And I'm kind of hoping that's another Pure Seed or another Moochy. One or the other. I'd actually prefer the Pure Seed because I really wouldn't mind getting Angelina up to 115. I think that'd be kind of cool. I would, however, settle for another Moochy. But the big question, of course, is, who's Moochy? Moochy is basically a mythic darkness attacker who does life draining and can also inflict physical weakness. So why don't we just quickly go over Moochy and then we'll have a little chat about him when it's done. All right, why don't we look at the stats? Life, about 53,000, which really isn't too good. It's on the lower end there. I mean, it is an attacker, so it's not that big of a deal, right? The power 5720 is actually pretty darn good. Gonna do damage, especially considering Moochy does have single target attacks that do high damage, so that's definitely going to help. Then we have speed, 4576 really isn't very good at all. But then again, he's kind of like, he's like a big old slug with teeth. How is he not an abomination again? Because he looks like an abomination to me. Well, he isn't. So let's look at his trait and see what he is, right? Rank 0, hardened, extra 20% chance to resist negative status effects. You get him to rank 1, he gets a damage increase. I'm guessing that's a damage boost, like a 50% one, probably for 3 rounds. So that's definitely going to help considering he's an attacker, right? And if you get him to rank 3, he gets a status cast for possession immunity. I'm guessing that's self only. It doesn't say area, so I'm guessing that that's self only. All right, relics, essence, and trap. Those can be pretty useful there. I mean, if he does life draining, essence, maybe you want him to raise again from the dead or something like that. Trap, he can take stamina or do other things. There are a couple of good traps for that. All right, moving down to the skills. Basic attacks. Nauseating Slime. Deals low dark damage to all enemies. Applies physical weakness to all enemies. All right, you're not going to take that one. He's got a better skill for inflicting that. But here's the thing. He only has one group attack you're going to use. And it's going to do that as well as something else. And then we have Leech. Deals low dark damage to one enemy, gains as much life as damage done. So that's kind of the first of the life draining ones. There's a bunch of them. And there's also one of them has a kind of cool thing thrown in there too. All right, moving down to tier 1. Foul Teeth. Deals low physical damage to one enemy, applies poison to one enemy. 1 round cooldown. You're probably not going to keep that one. How big can it be? Applies damage boost to itself, doubles its maximum life. All right, I mean, he's not really a tank, so I honestly don't really see why I'd want to use that one. I mean, damage boost, he's going to get the damage boost if he's rank 1. I just don't see a reason for that one. Certainly not for this guy, I don't believe. All right, let's move down to tier 2. Noxious Slime. Deals moderate dark damage to all enemies, applies poison and physical weakness to all enemies. All right, it's only a 2-round cooldown, pretty low cost, so that's really the only group attack you're probably going to take. It gives physical weakness. Now, he himself only has single target physical weakness hits, but, you know, other team members might benefit from this. So if you had like Nor, who uses a lot of physical hits, that could be very useful. Also, poison. Poison's a good torture effect. So it's going to do damage over time. And like I said, it's a 2-round cooldown. Use it once every 3 turns. All right, moving down. Feeding Frenzy. Applies increased healing to itself. Deals moderate dark damage to one enemy. Gains as much life as damage done. All right, so he's going to increase the amount of healing he gets from these life drains. I don't know how long that's going to stick around. Maybe it sticks around for 3 turns. Generally speaking, when you have something like that, it sticks around for 3 turns. And that means the rest of the life drains he uses, he's going to get an increased amount of health back. Now, if he's not hurt, then basically the life is going into the wind. But if he is damaged, then it's definitely going to be doing some good healing on him. That's going to apply to all the other life drains he does. Moving on to Tier 3, Perfect Hostility. Deals moderate physical damage to one enemy, applies double damage to itself. See, that's a lot better than the one we saw in Tier 1, because, this is going to be a hit, and he's going to be doing physical damage. If you did Notch's Slime, the one that gives the physical weakness, then this is going to do a lot more damage. And then, of course, double damage, so that all his other further attacks are going to be doing double damage. And, of course, if he does double damage, and he does a physical hit when they have physical weakness, it's really gonna hurt. If you hit him with, the next one, Sandworm Snack. Removes shield from one enemy, deals very heavy physical damage to one enemy, gains as much life as damage done. Now think of that combo. If you gave them physical weakness, and then you did the Perfect Hostility to give yourself double damage, and then you followed up with that one, that's gonna really hurt somebody. Really, really hurt somebody. And of course, remember, all the life drains basically are gonna refill your health if you are actually hurt. And that last one, that's gonna be a lot of health if you're near dead, right? If you're near dead, you use that one. But it really depends on whether or not you're hurt or not, right? Because all of these life drains, they're still gonna do a lot of damage. But if you're not hurt, they're not going to do any life drain. But the thing about it is, if you're not hurt, you're probably winning the fight anyway, so it's not that really big of a deal. He's actually kind of interesting. He does a lot of single target attacking. He's got that one group attack, the dark damage one that gives poison and physical weakness. And like I said, he's giving physical weakness so that other individuals in the group could take advantage of it. If you have Nora in the group, and Krusty too. Krusty's got physical hits as well. And I don't think Nightingale has any, but there are individuals who have physical damage hits. So they can all take advantage of that. And it's a good group attack in the first place. It's just the majority of what he has is single target hits. But they are good ones. So I don't really know how this is going to work out. I mean, he's not really very flashy, but he has some things that can stack up on top of each other. The increased healing, for instance, the physical damage weakness, and then, of course, the double damage. So he can actually do some stuff to make his attacks even better and better, and really inflict a lot of damage, especially if there is a tank that you really want to get rid of. He can probably do that. And of course, there's more than one way to get Moochy, and the other way to get him is to have a very generous teammate who gifts 100 cells to the entire team. And I think I speak for that entire team when I say thank you very much, Galaxia Knight X. Thank you very much. Anyway, let's move on, because we do have some other things to talk about. And the first thing that I would like to talk about, of course, is, where is it? Krusty's Tail Challenge. And of course, this is Krusty over here. You can see him. You don't see his name on top, but you do see it. They should really slip the name in there. So he's got Tails Challenge, but we need to know that it's Krusty. Anyway, this is what you are collecting tokens for. You use the tokens to unlock the first panel there. That was his avatar. After that, basically, it's a progression event. So you kind of need to get to the 50. Remember, you need to have 100 cells of a mythic in order to craft the mythic. You can't pad it with anything like Ember or anything else. You have to get the 50 in order to be able to craft him. So you can see where I am right now. I actually finished the 20 with 13 gems this morning, and I'm hoping that by about noon I can get pretty close to that tomorrow morning and use the rest of the time for the 50. I do intend to get him. However, I'm going to state that I did make a rather serious mistake, a mistake. I'm going to say mistake when I was talking about him in the previous video. There was a slight oversight that I made in describing his skills, and I'm thinking of Bermuda Mystery. When I mentioned it was a water attack, moderate water attack, that gives a torture effect and an extra turn. What was pointed out to me was the wording. You get the torture effect and the extra turn. So that's kind of a big difference, and it's having me look at him in a different way. So the combo of the negative healing, the reverse healing, and the double heal skill he has might be a good way to go. I'm going to have to look at that once I'm doing the feeding on him and figure out what I'm going to do, because doing a lot of extra turning while giving yourself a torture effect sounds like a really bad idea. So I'm going to have to see about possible changes to that, and when we actually get around to that, we will talk about that again. I did want to point that out. It's just the very wording of it made it sound like you were giving it to the target, but you're not. You're giving the torture effect to yourself. So I just wanted to point that out before people started wondering what was going on with that. That was my oversight. I missed that. Anyway, that's going to be going on for another, 2 days? Hold on, 2 days and 15 hours. I just wanted to verify that. It's basically, it started yesterday, so it's a full 4 days. But again, you have to get the 50 in order to be able to craft him. All right, and what else do we have? We also have that choose your path thing. I wasn't sure how they were going to do this, but this is how they were going to do it. Right, so the way it works is you can't see him right now because I kind of moved him down here. You have Metal Beat over here. And you earn the maze coins in the general normal way. You know, you collect the money, you collect your food, you feed your monsters, you do PvP battles, you hatch, you breed, that kind of thing. And then you figure out where it is you want to spend them, right? Now, I'm curious about this. If you don't have Urkin and you don't have Metal Beat, do you just see the Panda Explorer? Because, boy, well, would that be a waste? Oh, and if you're wondering what's in that last space there, you'll get an egg for Panda Explorer. I did that once. So in terms of the other ones, you kind of want to choose what you're going to do. But the thing is, I'm already crafting Metal Beat now. I shouldn't say crafting, I should say upgrading him. I'm actually upgrading him right now. So I think it's time that I started moving Urkin down. And you're wondering, well, it looks like you already moved him a little. Yeah, this panel over here on the left is a little on the annoying side. Let me show you something, right? Because I saved some coins for this. I'm going to select Urkin. He's right there at the top on the left, right? All right. And they just switch spots. They just keep switching spots back and forth. That's how I missed it. Watch, here, do it again. Do it again. And they just switched again. So you have to be paying attention to that. They alternate each time. It's not a matter of the height in the maze. They just keep going back and forth. So keep your eyes open on that. So I'm probably going to move Urkin down at this point so that I can rank him up. Because I'm already ranking up Metal Beat, and I have an extra 175 cells of him. So there's not really much purpose in going on because I'd need 700. But if I can rank him up, that's probably not a bad idea at all. Because it's better to have a mythic who's actually ranked up at least once, because basically you're going to run into mythics who are ranked up at least once. So that's how they did this. They turned out doing a choose your path. So I'm guessing if you only have one of them, you'll only see one of them. It's the people who don't have either one probably just have the Panda Explorer, in which case it's not a very invigorating and joy-inducing event at that point, right? All right, and what else do we have? Oh, we have a 72-hour challenge. Of course we have a 72-hour challenge. Guess I'm going for Sylvanas. I believe I actually been doing that already. Yes, I do. And I don't... Oh, I do have enough. All right, just to see if I can get some gems here. Hold on a minute. I fully expect to have to go through the whole thing, but the middle one is a lot less expensive than the others, so... Yeah, that's kind of the way it is right there. These days, that's just kind of the way it is. You just pick which one you're going to go for. The middle one is usually a legendary, and usually it's one that I don't have a lot of the time, and it's a lot less expensive in terms of coins to actually get. And my experience with whoever's on the right is I usually have to go down to the last one. So that's the reason in many cases I kind of avoid it. But... yeah, I mean, I don't have Sylvanas. That's the reason I'm going for that one. And it'll probably remain an egg forever. So, I mean, if you have the coins, you're doing this, the challenge coins. If you're doing it from PvP fights, you might as well just grab something, and you may get some of these wonderful gems. That's most of the reason I do this, for the gems. I think there was one other thing. There's a breeding event going on right now. Let me see. Other than Moochy, that is. I believe this one. Oh, the Top Monsters breeding event. So you can see there's some combinations that get you Salat or Alkanine or Zombic and Dungeon Master. If I had space, I'd probably be going for that one. I don't have Zombic, and I wouldn't mind getting Dungeon Master an upgrade. And of course, Rasyuku and the Inheritor. As a matter of fact, my Rasyuku is actually getting close to 115. All we need is some more monster wood, and I'll be able to do that. And of course, Myrtle McBlood and Countess Flawless. You know, so and you'll get Krusty cells for doing this. But you know, my hatchery is all tied up, and it's going to be for a while with legendaries from the Moochie event. I think that's about it. The other breeding event we had was for Gorg, I believe. The one that was on Thursday, the capitalized one. So that was for 2 days. And of course, we now have the Top Monster one for all the individuals you saw there. I think that's about it. And unfortunately, war is not going to be happening here for quite a while. Yeah, the timing just isn't working out. So 7.5 hours. On Wednesday, when I showed you that this team was probably going to destroy us, I had no idea by how much they were going to destroy us. We had gotten to rank, I believe it was 45 or 46, and we were fighting a team that was at 41. Clearly, they were going to be going higher, because as soon as the war began, clicked on it, it took me right to 29, and sitting at 29 was a 140th level Siamese. That gives you an idea of what we were facing. Yeah, it was all 130s and 140s, so they just utterly destroyed us. So we were taken down a notch. But then again, I kind of figured that was going to happen. We won too many in the Legendary League to continue much longer. You know the way it is, you win until you get destroyed and then you get back to reality. So we'll see if we're going to be able to match this team. Anyway, I think that is everything that we have, except, of course, for PvP. So let's get on with that. And there isn't going to be a lot of overpowering here today. All right, hold on a second here. And we got this. Yeah, my trophy count dropped there a bit, but who knows? Maybe that's going to be useful. All right, so let's get going. These first two teams are going to be a little on the challenge side, so let's just begin. Our first team today was suggested by GR Talks, and GR Talks wanted to see, and there's a theme here for sure. All right, so I was asked for a Temerian, so I am going to use a Temerian, and it is going to be my PvP one, which is not him, which is Tiny Tim. All right, and the next one is, and you're probably going to get the, oh, not that one. You're probably going to get the theme pretty quickly here. And we're going all the way down to, where is he? Oh, there he is. Flamey. And finally, I think we just saw him a moment ago, by the way. And timing really is a thing here, because at the moment I am splitting the first one. I have 3 more to split after that. But at the moment, where is he? Did I pass him? No, there he is. Tanky. All right, so we have all artifacts here. So they can't have any effects on them or anything like that. But like I said, about a week, Tanky will be a lot stronger than he is right now. If you're wondering what happened to the teams that were there in the first place, yeah, I started a fight and it turned out terribly. It turned out to be one of those endless loop fights, so we're not doing that. So I'm going to take this team into another one. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of liking this team on the right. I'm liking this team a lot better than the previous one. All right, could you guys just burn, please? Thank you. Let's think. I'm thinking cooldown activation. Those guys are just mean. I notice you guys all have 0 cooldown attacks. Just thought I'd mention that. Let's think. Can I kill somebody? No, I can stun somebody maybe? Hold on a second. That's a stun. Where's the mega stun? Oh, you up there. You're a nemesis, so you're going to have a really hard chance. All right, you know what? Here. I need to pick one for death. Yes. Get rid of one. All right. All right, let's think. Time stop on you. Because we'll never get it to stick to him. And then, is he about to go? All right, we're going to say loop damage. Okay, that worked out nicely. Let me think. Damage reduction. Does anybody need a heal? I can't see them at the moment. Hold on. If I did this... Oh, the Temerian needs a heal. Yeah, right there. Okay, much better. Let me think. Max burn and burning for everybody. Okay, this is good. Base time. They're about to attack us, so we're going to dodge. And we don't have to worry about effects, right? Boom, you're dead. Okay, this worked out much better. Boom in the face. Okay, that worked out better than the previous opportunity. Ooh, that was just so ugly. They instantly killed Flamey, and there was a Halter's bodyguard there, and he kept healing and shielding, and oh my god, it was an endless loop. That was the problem. It wasn't matter we lost, it was an endless loop. Okay, so let's go with our next team. Now, this one may seem a little bit self-indulgent, but this person had, they had a lot of enthusiasm. Unfortunately, in the past, they had picked teams that really had absolutely no chance of doing anything but dying horribly, which this team is probably going to do anyway, but it's definitely the closest to a functioning team. All right, so the second team today was suggested by GameHopping fan. See what I mean by self-indulgent? And I was given two teams. The first one contains somebody that I didn't have. But this is the second one. And this is going to be the first one here. And it was named as, of course, Temerian. So since Tiny Tim has already had his chance, Timmy is going to be in there. All right, next is the individual who's saying, oh God, why am I on this team? Please, somebody kill me. And that's Indigo. Because the final person is somebody who's making his PvP debut. Somehow, some way, he has never been chosen. I gave him runes. I actually ranked him up from, or leveled him up from 99. He was one of those guys at 99. And, yeah, I mean, somehow he has avoided being selected. I can't imagine why. Yeah, it's Stony. Okay, so let's see. I'm guessing... Okay, so this is a good question. I mean, up the middle, maybe? I guess I'm going to try up the middle. I mean, I think they're going to die anyway, but, you know, we'll just go up the middle. All right, let's go. Okay, you get to go first. That's kind of what I was hoping for. Why aren't you faster? All right. I kind of thought that he might have had some, like, stunning stuff. I don't have him, but I kind of thought that's who he was. All right, we're going to... Actually, here's a question. I don't really need to... I could take him down. All right, well, I'm going to do cooldown activation. Do I want to do a timeout on somebody? Yes, you. And you didn't resist it. Good, good. And cooldown activation. Okay, now hopefully he kills everybody. So we're going to start with you because I'm pretty sure you're the most dangerous one on the screen. Okay, I'm wondering whether Stoney's going to be able to do anything. Okay, you took some of his stamina away, but not a lot. Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to debuff you, Nature Witness. And I'm going to finish you off. And finish you off. Stony just got to look really cool back there. I put those runes on him for nothing. 500! What an amazing surprise. Alright, so let's go with our third team. And here's where things get a little bit stronger. Our third team today was suggested by Termology. And Termology wanted to see... And we're going to go over to Fire, and this is going to be Eric. And then we're going over to Magic, and this is going to be Kronks. And then we're going over to Darkness, and this is going to be Hella, 1L. Alright, so obviously we have a much stronger team, so I want to see if I can find stronger opponents here. Up the middle does have 2 mythics. Alright, let's see, because we do have somebody who's going to be dodging group attacks, right? Unfortunately, the Moon Haze has nothing. Okay. Alright, let's see. Well, we're not going to be doing any hyperbolic time chambers here, but we are going to hopefully do a time freeze. Alright, and save Rasagod. Alright, and let me think about this. We got plenty of time to hit them. Alright. Alright. Dark Submission! And Houdini. Oh, the other 2 are gone. Runes, kind of. It's ironic that the one who didn't have any runes is the one who's actually alive. But then again, the others didn't have life or anything on them, too. Speed would have been good. I mean, this is a 110, right? Pretty sure this was a 1... Yeah, it's a 110. Why not put any speed on it? I was thinking that what I was thinking is that we were going to get stunned, but I knew Hella would dodge it, and then that she could act. But, I mean, it turned out there was no speed on this at all, so boom, you're dead. That's what happened to controllers that have no speed. They just die. And a spin. Alrighty. And let's go on with our final team for today. Our fourth and final team was suggested by Harith Mascara. And Harith wanted to see, and right on top there, my only 120, Moonhaze Spooks. And next, we're going with somebody who's actually the third from the top there, and that's going to be Sparta. And this one doesn't get chosen very often. Let's see here. It's an interesting choice considering the other 2. It's in light. Let's scroll down a bit here. Oh, there he is. Jin. Of course, that's Lytirian. Alright, so Sparta is our damage dealer for today. I have 1 mythic, and I don't have a mythic who can do damage. So I'm thinking the one on the right is a little bit on the too much side. You know what I'm talking about? Up the middle? The thing about it is we don't really have, like, denial up the middle. So why don't we just try again? Because otherwise we're just going to attack them and they're just not going to be able to do anything, right? I'm thinking up the middle is a good fight. I mean, we both have 1 mythic each, and they have 1 damage dealer and a kind of a support individual. I think that one kind of works out pretty well, so why don't we do that? Although, the Daedalus is going to do damage. Yeah, I mean, he's 110 and he's a mythic, so he's going to do damage. Alright, what do you have over here? Yeah, healing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to be rising from the dead. Alright, let's go. Alright, I'm thinking we go with Stun and Sunburn, although this obviously, 1, it wouldn't do anything to the Worm Lad, but it's also going to dodge, he's going to dodge it anyway. Alright, let's see. I'm hoping I could do something against you. Removes all negative status effects. No, that's the control one, right? Applies possession to 1 enemy. Is he immune to that? I don't think so. I have constant fear. and evasion to himself. It won't do a lot of damage to him. Applies possession to one enemy. I'm going to risk that. Good. That worked out good. Alright, so let's see. What do we have here? I could give a shield. You know, I'm going to give a shield to the Bertgar because I don't want him dying. He's my entire damage. So, alright, so now what are we going to do? Charlotte says applies a mega stun. Alright, they're all... Oh, you can't be stunned, though. I was thinking that'd be what I could do with the Worm Lad, but he can't be stunned. So, I'll have to wait for one of the other guys to go offline. And I certainly don't want the Daedalus doing Mega Taunt, right? Applies Possession and Blind. And you just charged, didn't you? That is annoying. Alright, so, yeah, you're dead. I know I had you possessed, but I want you dead. Pure Rage, you're dead too. Okay, that's working out really well. Except you still... Yeah, you still are immune to... Oh, wait a minute. Can I do something about that? No, I can't. Alright, charge. Can you do something about it? Heavy damage, sunburn to one enemy, invasion to itself. Removes negative status effects, gives control. Where he's not going to be a control problem. Applies possession to all enemies. Oh, to one and then all enemies. Alright, we'll take 2 shots at you then. Alright, so we got you're possessed now. Okay, you did bad stuff to yourself. That's wonderful. Alright, Carlos says halt. Okay, Mega Stun. Good, good, good. Let's see. You don't need to do that. Heavy damage, possession, and blind. It's 22,000 damage. Okay, and let's see. Searching for light. Once again, it's heavy damage. You know? Okay, you. Boom. Oh, he's nearly... He will be dead. He's got quicksand and he's got sunburn on him. So, boom, he's dead. Alright, and that worked out pretty well. And it's been... What will I get? I got 500. I am so surprised. And we're done. So, we have a bunch of things going right now. Let me just go back here and grab them. And we have the Tails Challenge, of course, for Krusty. This is going to run for another 2 days, 14 hours. Remember, you had to have had all the tokens to unlock the first one, the avatar, before you can continue with the rest of the progression event. Remember that you have to have at least 100 in order to craft him, so you're going to have to get to this 50 if you do want Krusty. More if you want to rank him up. And then, of course, we have the old choose your path here. You can get yourself some Urkin cells if you own him. You can get some Metal Pete cells if you own him. And if not, then I guess you're going to get some Panda Explorer. So at that point, I don't know how much enthusiasm you're going to have for this. But it is an opportunity to get them. I prefer they hadn't have done this, but I mean, that's fine. It's just the thing is the same amount of work would have gotten you more down below, although they do seem to be stacking them up a little bit higher, so it could very well be that you have the opportunity to get as much as you would have gotten from the single paths. So anyway, I'm going to be going after more Urkin ones because I already have a rank up going for Metal Beat. And of course, then we have 72-hour challenge. If you want any of these guys, you do PvP wins to get the challenge tokens to do that. And of course, we have another breeding if your hatchery actually has any space in it. Oh, don't forget about the Moochy breeding. That's still going for another 13 hours and 4 minutes. And this other one, this top monster one, this one's going to be going for days afterwards. It's got 2 days, 13 hours, and 4 minutes left at the time of recording. Some decent monsters in there, and you can get some extra Krusty cells if that's what you deem necessary. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. So, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See ya.